Hi there, Scorpio. Thank you for joining me for your weekly forecast for week commencing the 4th of July. Scorpio may be a water sign, but your quality is actually fixed. That means you have an appreciation of sticking at things for the long term. But the irony is that your modern ruler Pluto is very much about change. And in fact, when change does come to Scorpio subjects, it tends to do so in quite radical ways. So you can go through periods of your life that are very persistent and consistent, and then there can be mass alterations which aren't necessarily easy to deal with, but it's almost like rejuvenates you, rebirths you in a new identity or a new way. And this is a period of the year, this week particularly, when I feel anything to do with change, spontaneity, approaching things with a fresh eye, can really be the type of things that intrigue you. And a lot of this is going to come from the fact that there is a wonderful new moon on Monday. Yes, on Independence Day. But this new moon combines with Neptune, which has been in your sector of dreams when it comes to your highest hopes and pleasures and enjoyments over the last 7 years. So it's an opportunity, this combination, to really trip the light fantastic, to step outside your normal way of approaching things and to be much more inspirational in your approach. Now, Venus is also in this go-getting and adventurous part of your horoscope, but combines brilliantly with Mars in your sign. So if you are a single person and you'd like to meet somebody new, this combination all through this week really can give you a lot more self-confidence when it comes to reaching out and making new contacts. But I think it's important not to have too many preconceived ideas. Not only can certain strands of your life remain consistent, some of your attitudes can as well. And that's not always something that's good for us, because the ideas or the shaping of our personalities that we gained when we're children, sometimes we have to shed those as life, society, and through our own experiences, so we adapt to how things are moving on. And if you are still adhering to something which is no longer relevant to the person you really need to be, then perhaps that can be around your attitude to relationships as much as your patterns around life. But the Sun is also combining brilliantly with Mercury this week, and no better time than on Wednesday. So if you are looking to apply for a course of higher education, finalise a holiday or vacation, or you're looking to perhaps travel in terms of a business opportunity, that's a fine time to do so. Venus, ironically, is actually clashing this week with Uranus, but perhaps that's going to be an inner tension that's going to show itself if you try to resist some opportunities that come up that may require you to be more flexible in your approach. By the end of this week, however, there is quite a big confrontation between the Sun and Mercury and Pluto, your modern ruler. And it's possible that when it comes to do with your points of view or your opinions, that someone could challenge you quite strongly about an attitude that you are a little more fixed around. And that could be rather threatening or rather difficult to encounter. On the other hand, perhaps you've really suddenly seen a new way of doing things and can become much more evangelical in terms of explaining this to those around you. But they may be playing catch up, especially if you've suddenly really got a huge burst of excitement and enthusiasm for a fresh way of going about things. So you're going to need to explain your ideas carefully and not be browbeating anyone if they're not immediately agreeing with you, but you could encounter someone who actually alerts you to patterns of your attitudes that you're not aware of, or someone who's very dogmatic, and unfairly so at that. So it's a difficult aspect for us all towards the end of this week, when we need to remain calm if people do have a different view of situations. Everyone's truth, they say, is their own. So if you do get into a discussion, you need to be sure it's a discussion that you want to have, especially if it becomes a little heated. But generally, this is a wonderful time for you to embrace new ways of doing things. can be very, very exciting for you. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Good luck and goodbye for now.